Welcome back, watch fans. I'm Ro. This is Swiss Watch Expo. Today we're going to be looking at one of the Patek Philippe complications. This piece I actually perfectly fell in love with when I saw it and began to first learn what Patek really brought to the table, what made Patek different, and actually what set them apart, even for this particular one, because it's going to be an annual calendar. So this is something that was actually invented by Patek themselves in 1996 when it was first released. And then you will see other releases around 2006, 2010, and so on. So today we're going to have a few of those options here with us. And we're actually going to have the platinum version, which is one that I think is phenomenal for what you're getting for the price, as well as the way that the architectural design of the watch is actually laid out too. This watch is just phenomenal when you look at every single aspect of it. And then the tip of perfection is actually with the top Wesselton diamond that is put on there. Top Wesselton simply meaning that it is going to be VS to VVS, and it is going to be FG in color. That was considered to be the finest of diamonds, and this particular watch is actually going to have that as the hallmark or statement that's going to be on the piece, hidden inside of the case between the lugs. The watch itself gives you a lot of fantastic features. When we talk about it being an annual calendar, remember it is telling you exactly what it does. It's saying that it only needs to be set annually. Annually meaning once per year. So that's going to be your February to March where it actually needs to be reset. Going to be totally different than a perpetual calendar as well. That's going to give you a little bit longer before you have to worry about resetting anything. But with this annual calendar, I feel like Patek really nailed it. They gave you so many features compacted into one design. And you will even hear people say that this is the dead dial or the dead watch, because depending on how you want it to run, you can use that second hand to make things continuously look like they're going, or you can actually not do it, which is what most people would suggest to you. And you would actually leave the chronograph off, which means when you look at the dial, there's nothing really moving except for once a minute. I really find that to be fun. When you're looking at a watch and you're talking about it actually carrying the month, the day, and date on the watch itself, that is something that you're not going to find everywhere. That's something that I really feel stands out. And the way that it is done with those beautifully applied markers on the dial itself really gives you a chance to look into the window and really see the beauty and the design that was actually put into it, not just the architecture of the metal itself, which that's something that we know that Patek has always done phenomenally themselves. You're going to get a few other features that are going to be on this dial as well. Remember, it is a chronograph. We're used to seeing sub-dials on chronographs, which means that there's either going to be 3 additional circles or that there's 2. And typically those carry the hours in minutes, or you'll have hour minutes in your seconds hand that you're running seconds hand normally on the watch. Well, for this particular design, everything is actually compacted right at the 6 o'clock position. So when you start and stop your chronograph, which is going to be your top pusher, your reset button is going to be at the bottom. But because there is a vertical clutch inside of this movement as well, you can allow it to continue to run. It will not hurt the movement. It's also a flyback chronograph. Yes, a flyback chronograph. That just means it will go whichever way is fastest to 0 so that you can time things consistently without having to start and stop and reset and lose maybe a second of something that you're trying to time. So with that flyback concept, it will instantly go back to 0 for you. You're also going to have a power reserve indicator on here. This does have a 55-hour power reserve on it. You'll see the minus and plus sign that are actually written on the dial themselves, and that is telling you whether the watch is completely full when it's at the full plus, or the minus if it's pretty much going to be going empty or going towards dead. That does affect your timing when you're looking at a lot of things. Now, the way that this is actually set up, because it still has a coaxial movement inside of it, you are going to get that perfect balance of energy where it's being released just the right way inside of this watch itself. There's also going to be a day-night indicator. Now, your day-night indicator does 2 things for you. It's telling you whether it is AM or PM, which is fantastic to have on your watch, because when you just look down on it, if it's something that you're looking at in, say, the middle of the night, or you're just kind of oddly looking at it because maybe you've been in flight for a few hours, you actually have that there to tell you the difference between day and night, but it is also a kind of a warning switch for you as well. When you're going to set the watch itself, you're going to have independent setters that are actually going to be on the side of the watch themselves that allow you to change your date function, month function. With those features, that also lets you know when you see blue on that indicator Do not change those things. You want to wait until it gets to white or change it over to white, which again represents the AM hours. Blue, meaning just like the sky, the darkness, which represents the later hours of the day itself. So remember, when you're setting this watch, do not use your side pushers that you can actually use to do quick set functions if you're going to have the blue indicator in front of you. That's always just your little warning sign itself. But with so many features packed into this watch, I really feel that it is something that is truly special. Not only do you have this in that amazing platinum design with that top Wesselton diamond that's actually embedded inside of it, but it also came later in a stainless steel. With the stainless steel, it actually gives you some really fun looks as well. For the design itself, you actually have this one on the bracelet. And with the stainless steel version, it actually comes with a lighter dial. The lighter dial is going to be a lot easier to read. So when you're looking at a watch, you're wanting to know, how should I pick my dial colors? A lot of us enjoy the different colors, but you really should focus on your retina, how your eye reacts to the watch itself. Some of us need more low light, which says that we should use darker colors. Others, like myself, actually need a higher light or a brighter light, which means that the lighter color dials are going to be easier for me to read. And as I age, my eyes will tell me what it wants best and what it needs more of. And that's really the way that you should be picking your dial or picking your watch itself. One of the things that we did do on this particular one too, we actually have two of the same watch, but they're going to be on a different strap. Now, when you look at the strap color, they really do change the actual inspiration or the look of the watch itself. The reason that I want to point that out is whether you're going to do something on a bracelet or a leather strap, here at Swiss Watch Expo, we always let you know, choose the strap that's going to be best for you later. Focus on the beauty and integrity of the watch itself. We always say that condition is king. So if condition is king, find the leather strap that's going to speak to who you are as a wearer of the watch itself. So that does mean sometimes maybe you'll have a piece that is going to have a custom strap made for you specifically, or you may be one who just believes in, hey, I like things to be completely from the factory. Remember, you can always order those additional straps as well, but you have the option and the opportunity to make this timepiece speak for who you are as a wearer. We want to know what you think about this particular watch here at Swiss Watch Expo, so let us know in the comments below.